Hello there YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking action figure review. Today we have more Iron Man goodness for you, more 3 3/4 inch Iron Man goodness with the Hasbro Iron Man 2 movie series Mark II Iron Man. Yes dude, this is the first Iron Man armor that MCU Tony Stark made with resources. The first was the Mark I, which he made in a cave with a box of scraps. But this one he actually made in a lab. Pretty cool. And I know it's just a silver armor, basically. It's pretty much the same sculpt as the Mark III. The Mark III, toy-wise, is just a repaint. Obviously, Tony gave it some upgrades in the film, but toy-wise, the Mark III is just a repainted Mark II. Which I think is why they gave this Mark II so much detail. Let's zoom out a little to ironically take a closer look. You can see all these black lines and dots all over the figure, all these little dots, all these sculpted lines filled in with the black to really just make it pop, really make it look more mechanical. Hasbro does not make 3 3/4 inch stuff like this anymore. They just do not. They have the reactor painted as if it's glowing. The eyes and repulsors have similar effects. Not the repulsors really, but the eyes do. It's very cool. The repulsors on the bottom of the feet aren't painted like on some other figures. But I can live with it. I can live with it. Very cool. I think it's painted spectacularly. For this scale, and really just for the design of this armor, all this black really helps it pop. And sculpt-wise, it's really good too. I mean, look at these joints. They sculpted mechanical details into the joints so that they looked more like a part of the armor and less like, you know, just something sticking out of a figure. Fully detailed on the bottom of the feet, which they didn't super have to do, but they did. You see you've got a peg hole for a flight stand or accessories, peg holes on the bottom of the feet, right there. God, he's a really nice looking 3 3/4 inch figure. But how does he move? There's a lot of great stuff about his articulation, but there are drawbacks as well. The head goes side to side perfectly, but you can see the silver paint doesn't go all the way up the neck. It kind of just becomes a dull gray, which isn't grand. He actually looks up a bit more than most of these movie Iron Man figures, but not high enough for a flight pose. Unfortunately, even with torso articulation, you still can't quite get there. But he does have really great torso articulation. The arms go up and down pretty far, but these shoulder pads, which also move, will pop off if you push the arms up too high, and they will go flying. Trust me, it's kind of a miracle that I still have them. The farther you go up, the more pressure it puts on it, and it could launch off. Like actually launch. Without it, the arm goes up very high, but with it, much more hindered. Much more hindered. Only about that high. It doesn't stop the forward and back, or the elbow bend, or swivel, which, you know, is kind of blocked. There is a hindrance to the swivel with the elbow pad. There is a nice rotation on the wrist. The legs go in and out, but you can kind of turn the joints to sort of make the legs kick forward and use the thigh swivel up top to kind of make it come forward. It's a little more difficult to make it kick back because you have to kick it back to the side because he does have a hard plastic bussy, but he has a fantastic, like absolutely fantastic double knee bend. And the feeties don't go down too far or up too far, but they do go side to side, and they're less hindered by these drop downs on the feet than you'd think they'd be. They are hindered a little, but once again, not as much as you'd think they'd be. So yeah, pretty cool. Now let's get into accessories. Every single figure in the Iron Man 2 line, or at least in these basic single-carded figures, comes with a stand like this, which is pretty cool. Even though he has 2 peg holes, only 1 is needed. He pegs right into the stand, and he stands on it perfectly flat-footed and everything. And then every single figure in this line comes with armor cards. If you aren't familiar with the armor cards, they let you make new armors, right? So one card has the torso, one card has the head and arms, and then the last card has the legs, and you layer them all on top of each other. So say I wanted to mix these with other figures. I could take it and I could use the head and arms of the Mark II. I could use the torso of the Deep Dive armor, and then the legs of Crimson Dynamo, and make a whole new armor with the cards, and it would have all these little stats and stuff. Very fun, very cool, and that's more of a thing for the kids. But for the adults, they display in the stand. Mine is still in the plastic wrap, so it doesn't fit in the stand perfectly, but they display in the stands. I used to have a lot of these all lined up in like a Hall of Armors display, because you can get it in here in the plastic. It's just not perfect. See, they're a little lopsided, which most of mine were. I only had a few out of the wrapper. But yeah, look at it. It makes a really cool display when you have all your 3 3/4 inch Iron Man lined up with their armor cards. It's just like a little room Tony Stark would walk into, of course, check out all his cool armors. You have to love it. You just gotta. He also comes with a missile launcher. Most of the figures in this line either came with a missile launcher or some kind of repulsor effect. He comes with a pretty cool standard type of missile launcher. He's got a missile. It's mechanical looking missile, but it's repulsor blast colored. Launches very well. It can launch quite far if you let it. But it just attaches right to the arm. No problem. Oh, there goes the cards. But yeah, it attaches right to the arm. It's mostly also metallic paint. No metallic paint on the part that actually clasps onto his arm, and none on the button. Didn't expect it on the button, but it might have been nice to have it on the clasp, but it's alright. Now it's time for everybody's favorite part of these reviews, size comparisons. Here on the left we have a figure from his own line. It is the Mark I movie series armor Iron Man from the Iron Man 2 line. And while they think this armor should be a bit bulkier, I actually think it's fine. It'll look better in the Hall of Armors display if they're kind of equal. But, you know, that's just how tall they made the figures in this line. So yeah, he kind of does work with it. He scales well with his own line, which is all that matters. And then here on the right, we have the Marvel Universe Thanos. This was kind of like the 3 3/4 inch version of Marvel Legends. I think it even took on the Marvel Legends moniker eventually, which is something it gained after it lost articulation, lost accessories, etc. But yeah, he looks good with the Marvel Universe line as well. They're two of my favorite 3 3/4 inch lines of all time. And I'm glad he scales well with them. And for the sake of reference, here he is with a 6-inch Marvel Legend figure from Hasbro. It is the SPDR Build-A-Figure Wave Kane Scarlet Spider, the second Kane Scarlet Spider that Marvel Legends made. Of course, they don't scale together. It's 1/12 scale, and I think 1/18 is what they call 3 3/4 inch officially. But hey, if you're the type of person that doesn't care about scale, there you go. So all in all, what are my final thoughts on the Hasbro Marvel Cinematic Universe Iron Man 2 movie series Mark II Armor Iron Man? I really like him. I think the paint and detail are beautiful. Articulation could be a little better even for this period of very well articulated 3 3/4 inch figures. But I do really like him. I hate to sell him. I honestly really do hate to sell him, but I am selling him along with pretty much all of my 3 3/4 inch Iron Man and Marvel figures. Sometimes you just gotta make space, and I haven't collected any 3 3/4 inch stuff in years, so it's time to just let it go, unfortunately. If I want to buy new stuff, I gotta get rid of some old stuff. So if you want him, definitely check out the links down below. I don't know if he'll be in my physical store or on my eBay page, but I'll pick one. He is very, very cool, and I do really like him, and hopefully he'll go to a very good home because he has a lot of cool accessories and stuff. And I think anyone who throws him in their Hall of Armor display will be very happy with him. So that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.